afternoon. Welcome to Walnut Lodge's Foundations Intensive. This is the second 4-week session. This is the 4th week of the session. This is the 3rd day. So it is today and tomorrow, and we will be done. I'm going to do a different kind of a class today. I kind of do this every once in a while. So we're going to do pretty much like a loosening class. And then tomorrow we'll kind of get back to finishing off the arms and all of that. So what we're going to need today is a block, possibly a second block, and a strap. And I'm sitting on my bolster, and this is because some people might, need a bolster because they don't like the way that the blocks hit them. But it's time for my back class. I always do this in my therapeutic class, which will be returning shortly. Spring session, I'm going to do therapeutic live at the lodge. So if you really like therapeutic classes, then this will be a good class for you. All right. So the purpose of my back series with the blocks is to just give the spine a really nice stretch by using the rocking breath. So it's a very relaxing kind of class. Also, it can make you kind of sore, and it's a really nice class to do and then go for a walk because your pelvis will be in a different kind of a place. All right, so we're going to strap our legs together, have our blocks ready, and lay down on our backs. So, when you strap your legs together here, you don't need to have them super tight. I just leave about a fist between, and we're not going to be pushing or pulling on them. They're really just to keep our legs aligned when we go up onto the blocks. All right. So laying down flat, relax, and then just start with nice big inhales into the belly. Big and slow. Just try to slow everything down. Every time you exhale, try to feel that release from the breath go all the way out to your arms and legs. And then as you're just breathing here, kind of get a read on your spine. Is one side pressing more than the other, one shoulder blade pushing down into the ground a little bit more than the other side? Do you feel twisted? Is your back not on the ground? Do you feel like you're like propped up on your bones? And then start breathing bigger and feel your lower stomach push towards your thighs on the inhale, and then just release. And as your stomach pushes on that big inhale, just see if the low back is coming off the ground. Maybe just a little bit. Nothing on the exhales, you're just letting them go. Maybe your back's going back down to the ground, that low back, maybe it's not. Now adding one more piece here. Inhale, push your belly towards your thighs. Exhale, press the waist into the floor. Let your sit bones go towards your knees. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, release, and then push the air out with that exhale. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. And then exhale, and then push. Inhale. Exhale. If you have a good exhale, then your inhale, the first part will be passive. The air will just rush in as you release. And then the second part will be active as you push your belly towards your thighs. And then the first part of your exhale will be passive as you release your pelvis. And then as you push your waist into the ground and push the air out, it will be active. So release the exhale. First part of the inhale is a passive breath, just air rushes in. Finish the breath actively by pushing the belly towards the thighs. Exhale, release, feel the pelvis drop, and then actively push the air out. Now keep going on your own timing. Try to feel that release as the inhale becomes the exhale and the exhale becomes the inhale. Just keep, this up. And then as you establish a rhythm, you start to feel the fluids of your torso moving back and forth, kind of sloshing from one end to the other. Feel the wave of it. I start a lot of my classes with variations of this. It's a very relaxing, grounding breath. The action of the anterior and posterior tilt of the pelvis connected with that breath starts loosening and warming up the hips and the low back, and then really allows you to connect that breath to those actions. So we've been starting with a hand stretch and then going to something similar to this on our knees throughout this whole intensive. This is a little bit more relaxed. You want to just feel like the breath moves you. One more inhale to the exhale, and then just release. Couple easy breaths. And then grab your block. We're going to put it on the smallest elevation, and the long side of your block is perpendicular to your spine, and you're going to put it right underneath your sacrum. All right, so the top edge of your block hits the sacrum. So you want to feel like that triangular bone of the sacrum is just kind of sitting. You probably feel, the top edge a little bit more than the bottom. All right. So we're going to continue this rocking breath right here. So we inhale, push your pelvis towards your thighs, and then exhale, push that top edge of your sacrum into the block. So you'll just feel that top edge. Inhale, push. Exhale, pull. So if you feel like your breath isn't giving you any motion, then feel free to move your pelvis. I'm really trying to breathe and then really exhale, but on my exhales I can feel my sit bones reaching up to my knees. So trying to get a little bit more of that posterior position on the pelvis. Just keep going. Inhale, push, and exhale, press back and forth from the tailbone on the inhale to the top of the sacrum on the exhale. Couple more. Now the next time you exhale, hold that position, press the top edge into the block, and then pull your knees up. Let them drop towards your chest as much as they're going to drop. So now you feel that top edge digging into that lumbar sacral junction. Now focus on your knees, and we're going to make ovals starting to the right, just small ovals. So push a couple inches to the right, and then push away from you, and then go to the left and pull it in. And go to the right and away and left and in. And to the right and away and left and in. Now keep going with this. Once you've established the motion, and then add inhale right and away, exhale left and in. Inhale right and away, exhale left and in. Now keep doing that, but change your focus to the block and feel the pressure of that block changing on the back. So as your pelvis rotates, you feel that oval as pressure on your sacrum and low back. Just keep focus on that for a couple of them, and then just kind of really enjoy that. Your back might be sore, and this might feel good. It feels good to me when my back is sore. My back's a little sore today. A little tired. And then once you've spent some time there, change your focus to your femur heads. And then just feel the ends of your femurs rolling around in the hip sockets. They're easy motions. You're stirring the pot, really. You're allowing the knees to create this motion in the sockets. And those femur heads are just rolling around, sloshing in that synovial fluid. So we have a couple circles going on here. Next time your knees come back to the chest, though, change the direction and go inhale left and out, exhale right and in. Keep going. And then, once you have established the motion, then just shift to either one of those other foci, I guess, as you can. You want to really feel the action on the block and in the hip sockets. And then think about the circles that you're making. So each leg is making a circle in the hip socket. Then the pelvis is not only making a circle on that block in that horizontal plane, but it's also tilting right and left. And so it's really circling on the end of your lumbar spine. So the combination of all of these actions, all of these circles, increase the circulation, they work on the connective tissue, loosen up muscles, increase the blood flow. So just a couple more of these, and like I said, it should be easy. And then the next time your knees come back and into the center, just keep them there. Now, we've done a lot of abdominal work this quarter, so feel your pubic bone pulling towards your chest. Keep that. And then just extend your legs away from your chest. So the knees are going to be over the hip sockets. Now keep pulling your pubic bone and let the legs reach away. Keep the knees bent because the feet are going to go to the floor. But you can feel as soon as the thighs go past vertical, it's way more work on the abdominals. So just pull with your pubic bone into the block. Hold the pelvis position and then just let those legs reach towards the floor. We're just giving the stomach a little bit of work here. Relax your chest. My chest was trying to help. Keep pulling, 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 pulling your pubic bone and your stomach. Let your knees relax. Couple more breaths. Your feet are getting closer to the ground. Now put your feet on the ground and relax. Just relax that whole area. Nice big inhales. All right, now we're going to move the block. So I'm going to just wiggle forward until the bottom edge of my block is where the top edge was. So the bottom edge is at the lumbar sacral junction. The top edge is kind of at my waist, maybe floating ribs, maybe a little higher than my waist. Actually, it is higher than my waist. It's at the floating ribs, and I feel like my waist is right in the middle of the block. All right, now this might be an ouchie position for some of you, so just go as far as is comfortable. So we're going to seesaw our pelvis and our back over this block. So we're going to start by inhaling and pushing your pelvis towards your thighs, just like we do, and then release. Exhale, pull your pubic bone towards your chest, and you'll push your shoulders into the ground. So inhale, as you push your pelvis, the sit bones get closer to the ground. Exhale, first release, and you'll actually slide back automatically, and then exhale, pull your pubic bone towards your ribs. And you should feel that pretty easily because we just did that nice hold. So inhale, pelvis. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Sit bones reach to the ground. Exhale, pubic bone pull, shoulders press into the floor. Now your sit bones might go to the ground or they might not. Doesn't matter. Just back and forth. It's a big stretch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, push the pelvis, feel the sit bones go towards the ground. Exhale, release, and then pull the pubic bone so that the shoulders press. Inhale and exhale. Back and forth. Couple more. Last one. Now hold that pubic bone line towards the rib cage and pull the knees into your chest. All right, so now that the edge of that block is higher, it's not at the sacrum, it's in the middle of the waist. Now we're going to straighten our legs here. You can keep your legs bent if you want, but you know, the only people really that might have a trouble with this, if your hamstrings are really tight, it's hard to just keep them stretched up to the ceilings. But you have this strap, so you can stretch your legs up and hold on to that strap. All right, and then if you have a really big hamstring stretch, you know, your legs will possibly be coming more towards your face. But don't go too much, because we're going to do the same circles that we did in the other position. So we're going to inhale, our feet are going to go to the right and away and left and towards. So inhale right and away, exhale left and towards. Now, same kind of thing. First we focus on just these easy little circles, ovals rather, that our legs, our feet are making in front of us. Once you have that established, make it small at first, then start to feel your back just rolling around on that block, and it's making that oval pattern. It's a pressure pattern, and it feels really good. The circle can get bigger, but it can't get too big because you don't want to fall off of the block. You don't want your low back to go into too much of an extension. So especially reaching out, you really want to keep that. And then focus lastly on the circles of the legs in the pelvis. Make it absolutely effortless. And once that circle goes, you might want to make it a little bigger. And that's really only to allow that massage to go a little bit further to the sides. It'll go a little further to the sides and then maybe towards that tailbone. But don't make it effortful, right? Is that a word even? Don't, is it? James says yes, it is a word. No, it's not a word? Oh, all right. Effortful. Effortful. All right, so full of effort, right? Now, next time your legs come towards your face, change the direction. Again, start small. Feel the breath pattern. Inhale left and away. Exhale right and towards. And then feel the circle on the low back. And then feel the circles. Now the next time your legs come over your face, just keep them there. Let them drop a little bit more if they can. A little bit of a hamstring stretch. All right, now feel that pubic bone pulling. It's hard to feel it at first. Tuck it, so maybe if you try to pull your whole pelvis towards your face and then hold on to that stomach as you reach your legs up to vertical, let the knees bend. Hold on to your stomach. And we're going to do the same thing, that slow lower. So that pubic bone is pulling into the ribs. You can feel it. We're going to do the slow lower. That stomach is going to work. You want it to work. Actually, this time you're going to go to a place where you can feel your belly start to shake. And we're going to just hold that. So just let that stomach work at that place. Couple more breaths here. All right, now we're going to slowly lower the feet to the ground and relax. Breathe. Just let everything go. After all that stomach work, it's an interesting feeling. Now the rest of our movements, the increments of moving the block up the spine, are just inches at a time, and we don't spend a lot of time in any of the places. So we're going to just wiggle our sit bones off of the block and put them on the ground. All right, now this is the place where some of you might need a second block. Because you don't like your head dropping back. But once your sit bones get to the ground and you put your block under your head, take a couple of big breaths into your rib cage. And then try moving the block and breathe into the rib cage. Because sometimes you just get like a contracture there that's left over from the stomach work. But if you don't like your head dropping back, you definitely need the block. All right, now, the rest of this is the rocking breath. We're going to inhale, push our pelvis towards our thighs, and then exhale, try to pull your sacrum to the ground. It's really hard, you can't get it down, but try anyways. Try pulling it down. You can lift, you can reach your sit bones towards your heels also. So inhale, push your pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, tuck under, right? Keep going. Inhale. You get maybe a half an inch. Exhale, try to reach the sit bones forward. So what we're doing, with especially with this exhale, is we're trying to stretch just that part of the back from the block down, from the lower edge of the block, just an inch right there. And I can get it by taking my sit bones and reaching them towards my heels, actually. My sit bones to my heels. So inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sit bones to your heels. Keep going. One more. On the exhale, wiggle forward on that block couple inches so that maybe the top of your block now is, you can feel it hitting your ribs. All right. The bottom edge of the block is pretty much at your waist or a couple inches higher. Same thing. Inhale, pelvis to your thighs. Exhale, try to pull that tailbone and waist to the floor, right? It's hard, you can't get much. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sacrum towards the ground. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sacrum towards the ground, and sit bones towards your heels, right? Trying to lengthen through that low back, getting some part of that sacrum on the ground on the exhales. Keep going. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sacrum to the ground. Feel the forward tilt of the pelvis. Feel the backward tilt of the pelvis on the exhales. Keep going. You can feel your spine moving. On the exhales, your chest and your head probably go up towards the ceiling. Maybe your head comes off the ground. Just let all of that happen. Just keep breathing and moving. Don't stop the inhale. Exhale. Just keep that action going. Now on this next exhale, wiggle your sit bones forward again until you feel that top edge right at the tips of your shoulder blades. So still not really high, tips of the shoulder blades. And then again, inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, you can get some of your sacrum on the ground here, right? Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sacrum towards the ground. Keep going. You can still feel your sit bones kind of sneak forward towards your heels on that exhale. If you want, it just gives you a little bit more stretch in that lumbar area. Next exhale, hold that. Wiggle again, forward. Now the block's kind of hitting you in the middle of the shoulder blades, at the top, and the lower edge is below the points of the shoulder blade by a couple inches. So I would say like maybe 4 or 5 inches above the waist. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sacrum to the floor. Yeah, you can get it on the floor here. And your chin is going to go up to the ceiling. Just let it. Pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sacrum to the floor. A couple more. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sacrum on the floor. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale, sacrum to the floor. Scoot your sit bones a little bit. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Hold this position. Wiggle forward until you feel that block hit you right at the base of your skull. All right, so right where the neck meets this cranium, right? That's the top edge. The bottom edge is kind of right in the middle. No, actually, it's right below my shoulder blades. It's right at the tips because my shoulder blades have now slid up a little bit. All right, so your back is pretty much on the ground. Inhale, pelvis towards your thighs. Exhale. Whole back to the ground. Inhale. And exhale. You get a little bit of a neck stretch here. Inhale, you feel that block. Exhale. On the exhale, it just pushes up into your skull and tractions that neck just a little bit. Inhale. And then exhale. What's happening now with me is you can feel your back is becoming more fluid. You're feeling the roll down into that press and that undulation up to the forward position for the anterior tilt. Inhale and then exhale. Keep going. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Creep forward again. Just wiggle. Now what will happen here, you want that lower edge of the block to hit you at the top of the shoulders and then right above your 7th cervical. Your head is on the block so that the lower edge of my block is digging right above that bump at the bottom of your neck. That's the 7th cervical vertebrae. The spinous process of that is larger than the other ones. And it's a little sore on me. It's all that stupid head forward computer work. All right, and again here, inhale. Pelvis towards your thigh, exhale. Inhale. As the pelvis moves forward, your chin goes down to your chest a little bit. And in this position, you're going to get a little bit of a neck stretch, right? As that block digs into the base of the neck. After 3 or 4, it feels pretty good. And keep that rocking breath going. Just feel that spine back and forth. Pretty fluid, actually really fluid. Going from posterior tilt on the exhale to anterior tilt on the inhale. One more inhale and exhale. Now, this time you're going to move your block. You're going to take your block and move it so that your neck is totally off of it. And then you're going to tilt the bottom edge towards you so that it's balancing on the back edge. The top edge closest to you is digging into your skull, and the bottom edge closest to you is pretty much where the block was before, kind of at that 7th cervical. Your chin is just dropped into your chest. And what you feel at the base of the neck, you feel this block pressing into the capitis muscles. They're little triangular muscles on either side of your neck, and they do a lot of work in the course of the day. So what we're going to do here is just inhale, pull your nose 1 inch to the right, and release back. Inhale, go another inch to the right. Exhale, come back, center. Inhale, go 1.5 inches to the right. Exhale, release back, center. As you turn to the right, feel the right side of your skull pulling back towards the middle. So you're trying to rotate on your neck, not go side to side. Come back to the center. So imagine the nose in the back of your skull. Inhale, nose goes to the right. Right side of your skull pulls back to the left, rotating. Inhale. come back to the center. And right again, inhale, exhale back to the center. Exhale, back to the center. 2 more. Go as far as you can to the right and release back to the center. And 1 more time to the right, as far as you can go, and release back to the center. Now to the left. Start off with just like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and then back to the center. Do that 1 more time, just a little bit, and back to the center. One side might be more sore than the other. Inhale, 1.5 inches to the left, and back to the center. And inhale to the left and back to the center. And inhale to the left and back to the center. As you inhale, feel the left side of your neck pull to the center and back to center. Inhale, nose goes to the left, skull goes to the right, back to center. 2 more. Inhale, nose to the left, skull pulling back to the right. Inhale, back to center. Here's the last one. Inhale, go to the left and back to the center. Now just move your block. Lay your head flat on the ground. Stretch your legs out to straight. My couch is right there, so I'm just going to put my legs up there. All right, now breathe. Going to stay here for a couple minutes, just allowing the spine to absorb all of that. Now we're going to do a 3-part yogic breath here though. Inhale into your belly, and then into the ribs and up into the shoulders. And then just release that down. And as you're doing this big, expansive, slow breath, feel your rib cage move to the side and then front and back. We've done all that release. So if you release the spine, then all that other stuff that attaches there is going to have some more motion also. Just keep going with your own rhythm. One more big inhale. Exhale, roll to your right side. Stay there a breath or so. Unstrap yourself if you haven't already. And press yourself up to sitting. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. It's really kind of a nice break after all of that work. As a matter of fact, that has to be, or it should be, in your toolbox. It's something that you can go back to again and again. Anytime your back is feeling stiff, if you're feeling stressed, I hope you feel really good now. And a really good thing to do right now is go for a walk, because then all of that will integrate. And then tomorrow, we'll be back for the big finale of our foundations class. So I hope to see you all again. Thank you for your support, and namaste.